You know, the opportunity that we have. I was only 6 years old when John F. Kennedy was elected. My mother, my grandmother tell me that's the most inspired they've ever been at public life. There was never an election like that. You know, back then, planes had to stop to refuel. They couldn't go very far. And my grandmother's from East Tennessee, Johnson City. And the plane had to refuel there at Tri-Cities Airport. And that was the only time they ever got to see John F. Kennedy because it's a heavily Republican area. My grandmother's always a Democrat. They would drive to the airport 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to see the plane. That was as close as she ever got to me. So that was inspiration. And now we have this opportunity. Because it's not just people in America who are inspired, it's people around the world. Because they know that this could never happen here. You know, they have groups and they have people they put down and they have minorities and things like that. They don't have a chance. They're never going to have a chance. But here, there's opportunities. So let's celebrate that. You're doing the phone banking, you're doing the emailing, you're doing the texting. I hope you're getting the talk right at church and in the grocery store. Every place you go, wear your button. Put on the bumper sticker on the car. I'm told I'm not supposed to mention yard signs because there are not many yard signs. Forget I mentioned that. But let me give you an idea. As great a group is on, why don't y'all have a yard sign party here? Buy some of that plastic cardboard stuff that holds up in the rain. Paint your own signs. Put Statesville for Obama on there. Localize it. You know, my wife's favorite button is somebody thought of this. It says, Alaska Wildlife for Obama Biden. And that's a very gentle way to put see, you're right. See, the human mind is so creative and wonderful. And there are always ways to reach out to folks and be inclusive. Because we're all Americans. We're all in this together. We all want a better country. And after the last 8 years, my goodness. You know, when Bill Clinton ended his presidency, we had 3 years of budget surplus. Surplus. The first time that had happened since the 1920s, before the Great Depression. And now, 8 years later, we have the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. And we have taken our national debt from the $5 trillion that it was George Bush took office. $5 trillion. It took 230 years of damage to our economy to give us $5 trillion in debt. And where is it now? $11.3 trillion. It's more than doubled in 8 years. How could you do 230 years of damage to our economy in just 8 years? Well, the answer is George W. Bush. And you know, he's irrelevant now. He's not on the ballot. John McCain voted with George W. Bush 90 to 95% of the time. That's not the record of America. So I'm excited about what you can do here in Statesville and this whole area of North Carolina. Give yourselves credit. I'm just a congressman. Congressmen are below dog food in the popularity scale. You know, individual congressmen might be popular, but as an institution, we're not. There's a loss of trust and faith in Washington and in institutions, and that's one reason Barack is running, to restore that trust. But you have credibility. You know your friends and neighbors. They like you. They get along with you. You can use your credibility so much more effectively than I ever could. But you got to put yourself out. I used to, when I was a young politician, I was afraid to go to ball games on Friday night because I thought all the parents there wanted to see their kids playing ball. So I discovered a secret. They're really bored being at those games. And unless their kid's quarterback and he's passing the ball right at that moment, they're bored. And they're really anxious to talk to somebody, especially a friendly, humble stranger who just wants to talk. I don't have any better ideas than you do. You don't have any better ideas than I do, but let's talk. Because we all care about our community. And I discovered that that's just one way, and in an unlikely way you can reach out and start getting the talk right in the stands. Not be pushy, but just let them know gently. So use every minute, use every moment between now and Election Day. And remember this incredible opportunity. Election Day isn't November 4th. Election Day starts in North Carolina October 16th. And then the real deadline is October 10th, because I'd love to see every living soul over 18 years of age registered by October 10th. You know, I know you have this one-stop easy thing. That's great, but that's a lot of paperwork to put on the folks, you know, to get registered to vote and to vote at the same time. Let's go ahead and get people registered the old-fashioned way early. And then you know who needs to vote. Make sure they get out to vote before Election Day. We don't know what the weather's going to be like. Let's lock it in, because that's the important thing to do, to make sure that the vote is there. Look at the role North Carolina's playing. Today in North Carolina, the Wall Street Journal is here. BBC. Y'all are going to be the focus of the world, because this state could change the outcome of the whole election. I know what it's like, and I know how my state failed in 2000. Al Gore's from Tennessee, and we blew it. He lost our state by about 60,000 votes because we took it for granted. We thought since he's from it, Tennessee wouldn't be a problem, right? Problem. Thanks to Tennessee's failure, we gave George W. Bush. You know, Florida was a problem too, but if Tennessee had gone for Al Gore, Florida wouldn't matter. So that's how much difference a state can make. And states could be the difference in North Carolina. You know your state politics better than I do. I ran for office when I was on the campus of Chapel Hill, but I never ran for office in North Carolina. Y'all could be the tipping point. Your neighborhood, your precinct could be the tipping point. In the Kennedy election, that was decided. That was so close between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon that if one vote had changed per precinct in America, Richard Nixon would have been the president in 1960. One vote per precinct. So you can't take it for granted. You got to get everybody out there. So please use every contact. I love these postcards. That's a great one to get hold of people. But make sure they know where you stand. Make sure they know that this is really important. There was an old song that said, "This ain't no disco, this ain't no rock and roll, this ain't no fooling around." This is the real deal. I don't think we can stand another 4 years of Bush-type policies. And John McCain is a wonderful man with a fabulous war record in the past. And elections are about the future. The Wall Street Journal will tell you he doesn't get economics. That's probably the #1 Republican newspaper in America. I love the Wall Street Journal. It's got a lot of good information. Somebody who gets economics, especially when the troubles that we've had recently. When I first came over the mountains to school in North Carolina, I thought you pronounce the name of the bank Wauchope. I said and learned. And now look at Wachovia. You know, who would have thought? It's unbelievable. The worst crisis since the Depression. We need to change course fast. So thank you for letting me speak. I'm the only cook in Congress. Jim Cooper from Nashville, Tennessee. If I can ever help you, please let me know. You can help the country, though, by working your tail off between now and Election Day. And I'm proud of you for doing that. Young and old, black and white, rich and poor. That's what this election's all about. Is there a McCain headquarters in Statesville?
No.
Yes, we like that.
That's true.
That's
McCain and Palin have never been, never.
There's a Republican
There's a
headquarters.
Republican, there's a difference.
okay.
The
Well,
McCain people have
even
not
if they have
been
one,
here.
you can outwork them, you can out-hustle them, you
Yes.
can make it happen. So thank you for saving America. Thank you for letting me speak to you too. Appreciate that. I've had a sign in my front yard for the last year and a half. It's been stolen 28 times.
Tell them about that.
We started doing our own signs with our kids. I still have a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old at home. That's the best way to do a sign, because that way people know it's local and it's real. You know, anybody can get a printed sign, as you can. See, that's a sign of how popular Barack is.